Today on the grid, we're looking at the latest mind-blowing AI Lightroom and Photoshop plugins from Topaz with our awesome guest, Greg Rostami. My co-host and official aerospace photographer for the Republic of Kyrgyzstan, he's burning out his fuse up there alone. It's the Rocket Man, Erik Kuna. We've got some semi-delightful giveaways, and it all starts in just 60 seconds.
The grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
That was a quick 60 seconds. Well, welcome everybody from Storm Central here. Supposed to hit directly here tonight. Hopefully be gone by tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be gone by 7 a.m.
It'll be out of here by 7 a.m. It's good because I had a shoot scheduled tomorrow and I didn't want to have to cancel it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and probably the next day, suck everything out. It'll be beautiful.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you guys here. We've got a very special guest today. So Greg Rostami, you guys know Greg. He's been on the grid before. He's with Topaz, and they've got some brand new stuff they're doing with the AI. AI has been a big topic around here on the grid. We've talked quite a bit about it, and I got to tell you, it's pretty amazing what they're doing. And Erik Kuna happens to be the world's #1 fan of Topaz plugins.
I'll tell you what, I'm a believer now. He
is all in on the Topaz.
I've gone in, especially on the AI.
Oh yeah, their AI stuff is crazy, and we're really excited to have Greg here. There's Greg. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you, Erik? How are you, Scott?
Oh, we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're just rainy. It's wet, but it's also rainy in Pennsylvania because I can see Nina is checking in from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, rainy Pennsylvania, right, Nina?
Rainy PA. Anyway, Greg, we're glad to have you guys here. We got a few little things we have to do business-wise, and then Greg's going to join us, and we're going to take a look at all the new stuff from their AI stuff. So we're excited about that. So that's coming up in just like 5 minutes. A couple of other things real quick before we jump over there. The Flash Conference is coming next week. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We all been working on it here, and of course the star of the show is Joe McNally. So he is the magical unicorn and king of Flash. He is going to be on one of the tracks. I'm doing a track for beginners. Joe's doing a track live. So he is in Connecticut. He'll be live from a studio up there. I'll be live from our studios here. And we're doing live shoots, and just if you're into Flash, if you're thinking of getting into Flash, whatever, you got to come to the conference. It's going to be amazing, and you're going to hear about it afterwards. You're going to be like, I should have gone, because it's going to be something special. And Joe is just incredible, and I'm just regular, but Joe is incredible. So make sure you join us.
You both have really cool stuff planned. I mean, your stuff,
I do have some stuff.
For beginners, I mean, that's where your focus is going to be on the beginner Flash stuff, but still, it's awesome. And having that power to be able to control Flash, it's one of those elusive things in photography. Once you get it, it's like it opens up a whole new world.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, and I think that's where, you know, if you've ever been in that, you know, place where you're like, I'm just wondering about it, I want to master it, that kind of stuff, you know, definitely check it out, because once you can master light and control light, it's like you become it just becomes a addiction, right?
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. And that's it. You're no longer a part-time photographer. You can shoot 24 hours a day, and it does. It gets under your skin once you realize, and the light bulb comes on, and that's what this will be about. If you are brand new, if you're like, I'm just brand new, I don't really know anything about Flash or whatever, come the day before. So it would be next Monday, because I am doing a super beginners workshop the day before, and if you're signed up for the conference, you're invited to come. It's only for people who are signed up, but if you come, I'm going to be taking you from square one, from scratch, like here's how we do this, and you're going to be surprised at how easy it is. You're going to be like, really? I've been waiting all this time, and I'm that's called Flash for Absolute Beginners. And then the next day kicks off with Joe doing an inspirational thing called The Love of Light, and that's to kick us off, and then we break into 2 tracks. I'll also be doing a little bit of retouching. I'm going to take some of the images that we shoot live in the class, and we're going to be retouching them from beginning to end, and we've got lots of live Q&A and interaction throughout. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it is next Tuesday and Wednesday. So come on yourself, or if you know someone who's into Flash or wants to get into Flash, tell them to come and join us. It's incredibly affordable.
another thing to bring up with flash is versus years ago, to get into flash photography, the barrier to get into flash photography is a lot lower. You know?
Yeah. You used to have to start with $600. You'd write a $600 check to get started, and now it's like a $60 check.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
1/10 of as much.
For $120, you can have a really
full
Mondo, full modifiers, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, and I'll be covering all that stuff on my side of the track. Is really how to go lean and mean and inexpensive and get up and running fast and get pro-looking shots right out of the box. Also, one of the things that you'll find is I'm going to be sharing some recipes, exact settings, not stuff you have to try to figure out on your own. I'm going to be like, walk up, dial this into the flash, this into your camera, take a shot, and you're going to be freaking stunned, and it's going to work again and again and again. So that's coming up next week. What else do we got coming up? Oh, Slick Pick. So we are going to give away, we got some giveaways today. We're going to give away the Slick Pick portfolio level account. Now, you guys know what fans we are of Slick Pick. I switched over to them for my portfolio. They've been giving us a deal, and the deal is too good to be true.
It was just a matter of time before they went, this is too good to be true.
So the too good of the true ends. So they're going to end this in November. So if you want to get a portfolio, and guys, this is the place to do it. They are the best and the easiest. It's where I moved my portfolio to. Go to slickpick.com/Kelby1 and do it now, because at the end of the month, it's gone. And so you don't want it to be gone, because I'm telling you what, this is, it's not, you can't believe how easy it is. Plus, if you get the portfolio level account, they assign a graphic designer to help you build your thing. So your site. Anyway, they're awesome. You will love it. I didn't need I had that account. I have a portfolio level account because I thought I might need a designer. Did it myself in like 2 hours. I was up and running, and I had like 7 different, because I shoot all different things, because of my teaching. So I had all these different categories and stuff. But are any of them over 24 images, Eric?
No.
No.
But that's the hardest thing.
That is, dude. That's what takes all the. Thing. I kid you not. It's not the putting it up there. It's not configuring it. It's when you sit there and go, I have 28 images. Now what do I do?
Yeah, and you got those.
I have
4
32.
You gotta let go of.
Yeah, and you gotta let. Yeah, it's very hard to do. But anyway, so we're going to give that away today. We are going to give away. Oh, they went wide. One of these bad boys, the platypod goosenecks. Everybody wants them. We've got some of them. There's very few out there in the world. How about there they are. Look at some of the cool stuff you can do.
And there's something else you can win that's on top of that.
Yeah,
right?
You can win those things on top of it. We're going to give away a Lytra Torch 2.0. These are extremely, extremely annoyingly bright lights that you can use for lighting in places where you don't want to bring a big lighting rig. So it's awesome for that, and it's awesome for video or for stills, and it's just, they're pretty neat. We're giving one of those away today to some lucky viewer, and we're also going to give away a copy of my latest book, which is called The Digital Photography Book. The previous version of this book was the best-selling book in the history of digital photography. This is the brand new version. I've updated it. 7 years in the making, and it's brand new. If you don't win it today, you can go get it at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. All right.
And to enter, all they got to do is they just got to leave a comment. So you just got to leave a comment in the comments. Tell us what do you want to win, or tell us where you're from, anything. Just leave a comment. There you go.
Well, that's it. So that's what I was going to say. Eric, tell them how to enter.
Yeah, there you go.
So what else do we have? We got some shout outs, and then wait, was there anything else? There was one other thing. Oh, I don't have all the details of this, but I'm sure Christina is going to help me find it. But Platypod, so they're getting ready. They're ramping up for their Black Friday deal, and they are going to let Grid viewers and Kelby One members get in a day early. We got some shout outs real quick. Who we got here?
Yeah, so we got Pee-wee joining us all the way from Maine. We got Mike all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. Warren from Long Beach, California. Diane from San Diego saying hi. We got Mark S. saying hi to the Grid Gang. Glenn from Calgary. Wen Webb from Chicago. Deb saying hi from a cool California. Jeff from Napa. JC over there from Key West. It's been nasty, downpouring. Well, we're getting it now, so there you go. And then Bruce from Oakville, Ontario. We got Muhammad from Iran, Amy from Newfoundland, Gino from Belgium, Elena from Kiev.
From Ukraine,
yeah. And then Stuart from Central Scotland. So we got people all over the world joining us
all right.
today.
Well, guys, we have a very special show, and you're very lucky. So we're going to turn things over to Greg for a few minutes here, because Greg, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, Scott.
All right, Greg, I got to tell you, Erik Kuna is Topaz's single biggest fan. He will not stop talking about your AI noise and your AI sharpening. It is his life. It is. Yeah. He is a super fan at an annoying level. It's
wow.
He calls me to tell me what he did with it and how amazing it is, and I'm like, I know. But he is your biggest fan. So
I love it.
Erik's particularly excited to have you on today.
I love how flexible it is. Yeah.
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 So you got some new goodies, and we're dying to see them. So tell us what's going on.
Well, Topaz is constantly developing the AI technology that they have, and it's all about, training the machine learning, and that's one of the exciting things about machine learning in general, is that it constantly gets smarter because we constantly train it with new images and new methods of looking at images. And actually, since Erik was talking about, Denoise, there now are several different models that are in Denoise that you can compare with one another to see which one just suits your needs.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It is. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on.
I mean, it really is nice because you can actually go in and what's cool about it is certain photos, need a certain kind of a denoise. There's certain kinds of noise, and then there's other certain kinds of noise.
Right.
And it just it will automatically pick it up sometimes and be like, boom. And if it doesn't, you could just kind of play around with those settings and it'll get it. And it's amazing. I mean, it's by far crazy ahead of everything else that I've used.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So are we going to get to see any of this cool stuff, Greg?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get started. Now, this last time when I did the grid, I started off actually with Sharpen Ai, but we've been doing so much cool stuff in Gigapixel Ai that today I'm going to start off with Gigapixel. So right off the bat, let's quickly compare Gigapixel with some of the other methods of upscaling that are available out there in the world. I found this photo. Let's just zoom in on it. This is a painting, and unfortunately, it's got a lot of compression problems. And when you zoom in a lot, you can see how you get these little kind of like blockiness, where you can see all those blocks everywhere. And that's typical of JPEG compression. So first, here's what happens when you use the latest version of Adobe's Preserve Details 2.0. Now you can see it does a pretty okay job. Basically what used to be like really pixelated is now trying to intelligently get rid of the pixelization. But then as we look at his whiskers, for example, there was a lot of compression problems that were around the whiskers. Unfortunately, it's not really doing much to take care of that. But now, drum roll please, gentlemen, here is Gigapixel Ai.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is huge. Because when you consider that this is the garbage that we're starting off with, and this is what it's delivering, it is downright a miracle. So let me talk a little bit about, exactly what's going on. As you look at, for example, the little cat's chin, okay, you can see that there is just practically no information that's there. Whereas in contrast, when you look at Gigapixel Ai, you see how it's intelligently filling in the hair that's supposed to be there, even though in the original JPEG, low res, there was nothing there. So it's essentially hallucinating the information that's supposed to be there. And once again, if we compare that to what our buddies over at Adobe do with Preserve Details 2.0, with Preserve Details 2.0, even though some of these edges are being taken care of, some of these fine details of hair are not there. Whereas in contrast, when we now switch back over to Gigapixel, it's really, really a miracle. And I'll do one other part of this photo here for you guys, just so that you get a better taste of the kind of refinement that it does in cleaning everything up. So let's say we look at little details like this area right here. Once again, lack of resolution. And now, here is Gigapixel Ai. So every little line, all these contours.
How does it do in this, Greg? Tell us the secret. What's really going on under the hood there?
Black magic.
What's really going on under the hood? Yeah, this is all machine learning, which means that you essentially give the computer millions of photos that are both the low resolution version of that photograph or the really crummy JPEG compressed version of that photo, and we give it the high-res version as well, and it figures it out. In fact, I'm going to do that for you right now just so you can see step-by-step how it works. So you can either run Gigapixel as a plugin for Photoshop, or you can run it standalone. So I'll bring in actually the original version of that cat. We're going to crop in on just this face. Yeah. Let's say right about there, okay? So this is something that's very typical that photographers do, is that they might take a shot, especially for wildlife photographers, where things are just too far away because your zoom lens couldn't zoom enough. And then you realize, you know what, I wanted to really crop in on that photo, but unfortunately I don't want to lose the resolution. Whereas now with Gigapixel Ai, you don't have to worry about it. So here's exactly what we've done. We've jumped into Gigapixel Ai, where now we can designate how big we want to go. So in this case, I want to go full on out. I want to go to 6 times bigger. Now you could specify exactly how big you want to go by using the width or the height, but just for the sake of the speed of this demonstration, we're going to leave it just at 6x. But then the other things that are exciting are now where it says image type. These are different types of upscaling. So I'm going to choose, let's say, for example, the compressed format over here. So it's going to calculate for a little bit, and then it gives us the results. And what's nice is you got the left side, which is, of course, what you're starting off with. And on the right-hand side is what it looks like when it upscales it. And comparing models, I can say, here's what it looks like when I use just a standard model of upscaling. Here's what it looks like when I use the compressed model. I like the compressed model, so all I'm going to do now.
Agreed.
Yeah. Just go ahead and click on Save Image. Right? And so then it does its processing, it sends it right back into Photoshop, and there it is. The other thing that I love about the way that Gigapixel now works with Photoshop is that it builds another layer for you, which shows you what it would look like if you just upscaled it using traditional Photoshop scaling. So you get to see there's the before and there's the after of what Gigapixel just did with that photo. So this is awesome.
All right, question. Can you use this as a plugin for Lightroom, or is this just Photoshop?
Yeah, you can actually use it in Lightroom, yes. So in Lightroom, you would be able to activate it, and then now Gigapixel Ai has a crop function that's built in. So the moment you come into Gigapixel Ai, you say you want to crop in on a little area, it does the crop for you, it upscales it, and so then what goes back into Lightroom is the crop that you are interested in. Not just the humongous version of your photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Greg, we're gonna take a short break. Is there anything else from Gigapixel you want to show us, or can we pick up?
There's since you're going to be going on a break, I want everybody to know that we do have this awesome special. This is the best special that we have ever had on the grid, and it's a 30% off.
Whoa!
So, yes. It is huge.
Yeah, I think that's double the last special.
Yeah, it is. It's double of what we did before, So, but when we get further into it, I'll talk a little bit more about the special and what it exactly means in the dollar savings to you.
All right, great. Well, that was one thing we said. Hey, Greg, if you're going to come on, you have to give our viewers a deal.
Give them a deal.
Oh, yeah.
That's a better deal than I was expecting, but we're still happy to have it. So that's a happy surprise. All right, we're going to take our break. When we come back in just a minute, we've got more with Greg, and we're going to see some more amazing stuff. Stick around. We're live here on the grid. Don't go away.
Love it.
Light is photography. That's why, besides the camera itself, perhaps the most powerful tool a photographer has is a flash. When you hold it in your hand, you're holding the ability to create light on demand. When you understand light, you can create drama, mood, and emotion. For many photographers, learning flash has been an uphill battle, and some have simply given up. But that's all about to change. What if you could spend 2 full days with 2 of our industry's most passionate, gifted teachers who would finally demystify flash for the beginner and push and challenge more experienced flash users? Can you imagine just how far you would go in those 2 days? This fall, you'll have that opportunity as 2 of the top Flash authors and educators come together to create a truly unique learning experience. Joe McNally, the man who opened the photographic world to the real power of Flash and inspired an entire generation of Flash users through his books, The Moment It Clicks and The Hot Shoe Diaries, along with Scott Kelby, author of The Flash Book, the #1 best-selling book on Flash for the past 3 years, have come together to coach you, to mentor you, to teach, inform and illuminate by sharing their latest Flash techniques, their hard-earned secrets, and even the post-processing and retouching work that goes into making stunning, remarkable images as you uncover a whole new world of light powered by just a simple Flash. It's 2 full days, all presented live, all online. This is the Flash Photography Conference. The power of light is in your hands.
For over 20 years, leading software developer Boris FX has made its mark on the film and television industry. Now, for the first time, our Academy and Emmy Award-winning visual effects tools are available for photographers. Welcome to Optics. Optics is a collection of 160 filters for Photoshop and Lightroom. Simply apply the effect and launch the interface. Optics features thousands of customizable and creative presets for photo editing and effects layering. The top tools include lens flares for cinematic looks, realistic night skies with star fields and moon generator, add lightning with on-screen interactive control. The Easy Mask tool creates masks with just a few clicks. Optics is available now as a plugin for Photoshop and Lightroom and includes the standalone application for macOS and Windows. Get Optics now for 15% off. Visit borisfx.com, add Optics to your cart, and apply coupon code KELBY15.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey, we're back here on The Grid. Scott Kelby here with Erik, Kuna, and on the line with us, well, not actually on the line, on the video with us is Greg Rostami from Topaz. He is out in L.A.?
Yes.
Out in L.A., living that L.A. lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
You driving up and down, what is it, Santa Monica Boulevard?
Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah. Sepulveda. Anyway.
It's actually kind of cold in LA. But
is it?
It's all good. For us, cold is like 69 degrees, you know. So.
Hey, we'd kill for 69 here. Well, actually, it might get a little chillier, but
it's probably gonna get chillier here.
Yeah. Anyway, Greg. All right. Well, so Erik was just talking on the break, and one of the things he was talking about is how often you guys upgrade your plug. What were you saying, Erik?
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that, versus other companies that I've, got plugins from, and, when I love it. As we know, I love it when you buy something and then it gets better as it goes.
Yes, he does.
And that's the one thing with like Topaz. It seems like one thing with you guys is you do update the app very frequently and add new features frequently, which I love because usually companies will sell you something and then just never really update it.
Yeah.
And it seems like I get an update once or twice a month anymore. So, and it's really cool features.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we, to us, this is just as exciting as it is for you, and mainly because, as we constantly research this, when we find new things that are innovative, we want to immediately share that with you, Mm-hmm. So, but we love instantly putting it out there so that people can play with it.
Yes, and that's what it is. It's like you bought it and now it's better than the day before. That's the best. That's
what he loves. All right, Greg, show us more cool stuff. What do you got?
Yeah. So since Erik was talking about Sharpen Ai, I'm going to do a little bit of Sharpen Ai. This is a photo that is actually from one of Scott Kelby's online tours that he does. There was a gentleman that challenged me with this photo. So that's the before. It's really, really blurry, and this is what happens after you use Sharpen Ai. So yes, this is some of that kind of
Wow.
stuff that's like science fiction. And just to once again compare what we do to what some of the people do in the world when it comes to removing blur from a photo. On the left-hand side, you got your original out-of-focus shot. In the middle is Photoshop's Smart Sharpen filter, which doesn't really look like it does much to the photo. And then finally, on the right-hand side is Sharpen Ai. That is actually trying to imagine what this photo would be like if it was sharp and it was in focus. So I'm going to do one of these for you just so you can see exactly how it works. And we're going to do it in like two different extremes. One of them being something that is really severely out of focus. And we'll do something that's a little bit more typical in a workflow where something is just like maybe slightly soft and you want to get some life into it. So the first thing that you notice about the user interface is that you got the left-hand side, which is your original, and on the right-hand side is whatever it's doing with the photo to fix it. Now, in this case, I'm going to make sure that I turn on focus because it looks like the photograph is out of focus. And then, oh my goodness, it's already done. So if you look at the right side, you've got a couple of buttons that say auto. So if I was to turn on, for example, the auto settings, the AI automatically analyzes the photo to figure out what would be the best sharpness and noise suppression settings to fix it. And it's pretty much most of the time dead on. But if it's not, you can always tweak it to get it the way you like. And then when you're happy with it, you click apply. It's going to do a little calculation and goes right back into Photoshop. So essentially, this is the way that the photograph came out of the camera. And that's, oops, pardon me, and that's Sharpen Ai. So this is, like I said, something that's pretty extreme, and we have a lot of like extreme examples where we take photos of fans that are spinning and then suddenly the fans stop spinning, which is weird. Yes, the AI can actually figure out how to stop your fans from spinning. Yes.
So, Greg, what we want is something that makes stuff that's stopped look like it's spinning, not the other way around.
Absolutely, yeah. I know a lot of the old airplane photographers always talk about that they want to make it look like the propeller is actually spinning, and they don't want that. Maybe we should do a product actually that addresses that.
Photoshop has one now. What's it called, Eric? There's one that you can use for wheel spin, like for racing cars. There actually is a spin, and it's maybe just a year or so old, that does make things spin. But that's amazing what you were able to do there.
And I think, though, the one thing that I would say with Sharpen Ai is, it can do that stuff, and it can do that crazy stuff. But really what it is it's your photo. I've had photos that I've been like, oh, that's sharp. But then I apply Sharpen Ai, and I'm like, oh, that's sharper.
Yeah,
like, that's
I thought
way
it was
sharper. Like, it took like that little bit of edge blur, especially on, again, action stuff where, it might look sharp, jets, rockets, anything like that that's moving really fast, and you think it's sharp, and then you apply Sharpen Ai to it, and then you go, I wish I had an example. I don't have my drive plugged in, but I could actually bring up or show. Like, that's what it is like I can actually read the lettering on the plane very clear now, where before I could read it, but it's like when you see the before and after, it's noticeably different. And you wouldn't have known it before applying Sharpen Ai.
We have a question here from Kendra, and the question is, will this work on panoramas where part of the image is out of focus but the rest is sharp? So could you select part of the pano and run the plug-in on just part of an image?
Yes, you can. And in fact, inside of Sharpen Ai, there is a selection mode that allows you to brush in exactly the area that you want Sharpen Ai to sharpen. I have a few examples of that, in fact, right here. This is my buddy Zach. You can see how his face is out of focus while the camera has the cards in focus. Whereas now, suddenly, after it goes through Sharpen Ai, his face now is in focus just as well, because all we did is just make sure that we told Sharpen Ai just to work on the face.
Okay, so you painted over his face, and it just affected that area.
Exactly. So it affected just that area, So that's very, very typical of parts of your photo that you're interested in that is blurry, that you want to correct. So within Sharpen Ai, we allow that.
All right, so Greg, I have a quick question. Your friend, what's his name that you just showed?
Zach Mueller.
Zach, is it?
Yeah.
Why does Zach have a deck of cards on a merry-go-round? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself that?
Zach is one of the most successful young entrepreneurs, where he took his cardistry and his cards and he marketed them so well. He has built them as this amazing brand from his cards and his cardistry. So yeah, this photo is rather old. He's grown up quite a bit from this, but I don't know why. He always has a deck of cards on it.
Even when he's on a merry-go-round.
Even when he's on a merry-go-round. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So if you guys want to see a little more of Sharpen AI, here's something very typical of photographing kids, because kids are always moving. Typical motion blur. And again, you can run it in Lightroom. You can run it in Photoshop. I brought it into Photoshop. We jump into Sharpen AI. And then this time around, notice how it's on stabilize. So the last time we did it, we were using the focus, but this time stabilize is dead on. And immediately there's the left-hand side. In fact, I'll zoom in a little more just so we can see at about 200% what's going on. Let me get a little closer to her face. And let me do it this way over here. There we go. So on the left side, we see that there is the motion blur. You can see the streaks that are in her eyes, whereas on the right-hand side, everything's been corrected. And when you're happy with it, and just by the default, it looks great, I click Apply. It's going to send it back to Photoshop for me. And now, as we zoom in, we can quickly do a before and after. This is just a little soft because she's moving, or the camera's moving, and then here's the after.
Dang.
I can see the details that are on her face that were basically invisible from the previous version that come back. Or if I was to look at her sweater, in the old version, the blur was just getting rid of all the details that are in her sweater, whereas now all these little fine details just start showing up perfectly. So that's Sharpen AI.
It's like magic. Magic AI.
I mean, it is crazy. I mean, I'm trying to I should have had the befores, because like I have this shot here, and like this is a panning shot, right? And all this text was soft before Sharpen AI. And now I can actually read everything in here. Like, I wish I had the before, because that's what it is. That's a panning shot that's moving, and it's like it was overcast and dark and all that stuff. But it's like it brings that back to life, where you can actually read the guy's name on the side of the plane.
Erik, I want to see that prop. Let's see that prop.
Oh.
Not bad. Not bad.
I could do
Got
better.
some fish
I could
sticks
do
there.
better.
No, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I could do better. Anyways, so I wish I had a better one. But
no, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. Well,
all right, Grego. We're back to you, Grego.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, just now that we've seen Sharpen AI and Gigapixel, I always leave the best ones for the last. We're going to jump into Denoise, right? Denoise has become one of the top-selling products that we have here at Topaz, mainly because we got two different images here. One is ISO 50, the other one's ISO 25600. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way. You can't tell between A and B which one is 25600. But once I go to the reveal, and here's the reveal right there, the left-hand side, which is A, actually was 25600, right? Yeah, but after it goes through Denoise AI, they are practically identical to one another, So innovations in removing noise. So let me grab one of my favorite photos, which is actually one of Scott's photos that is really, really, really noisy. Actually, I think this is the after version, so let's not do the after.
Yeah, that was the after for sure.
There we go. That's the one, yes. Severe amounts of noise, right? And just because I want to show off the new way of comparing the different AI models in Denoise AI, you go into Denoise AI, again, either standalone or Lightroom or Photoshop, and you notice that now with this new view, we have all of the different AI models placed side by side. Okay. As a matter of fact, you'll see it actually calculating all the different models as it goes through, just working it out. In the upper left-hand corner, it's the original photo that's severely noisy. And then we have Denoise AI, which is, let's say, what it's doing with its default model, which doesn't look so hot. But then the low-light model down at the bottom is where it really shines. So now we recognize that we should probably use the low-light model. So now you switch over to low-light. I can ask it now to give me a nice side-by-side view. So I can see what low light's doing. And again, if I wanted to just turn on auto, I can. And it's going to just figure out whatever it needs to do to give me the best results. And when I'm happy with it, I click apply. And it will go through and doing its thing to remove the noise from this photo. And once it's done, we'll kind of like zoom into a couple different areas of it just so you can see what a miraculous job it's doing with removing the noise. And this is pretty severely high ISO, you know?
Oh yeah, it was so dark in there. That was in the Opera House in Budapest, Hungary. And it was very, very dark down in that pit, but you know, when you get to see an orchestra pit with the music still on there, which is what I thought was so cool about the shot. The score was still there.
The shot in its entirety, you know. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Just to give you a reference of where we started from, this is how bad the noise was a few seconds ago. Okay, it's really, really, really bad. Whereas now, of course, what Scott always talks about is the details that are in the music notes. Yeah, because when you look at the previous version, the noise is obviously covering up all the music as well as it's covering everything else. Then after it goes through Denoise AI, every little detail is being perfectly preserved. What really freaks me out most of the time when I use Denoise AI is how it tends to recover textures. So if you're looking at, let's say, the floor where there's a wood pattern that's on the floor, normally the noise just covers it all up, whereas now after, you see how these little tiny details that are on the floor are still being properly maintained, you know, whereas every other method of noise reduction would just basically blur all that out. So yeah, Denoise is a major lifesaver, and basically, if you're shooting in a museum where there's not enough light, exactly what Scott was just talking about, after denoise, it's all gone, you know. Another example of severely high ISO noise, where we just simply get rid of it. And then for wildlife photographers, sports photographers, even if it's as crazy as 250,000 ISO, just don't worry about it. All right? You are suddenly going to be given 4 to 5 f-stops of just magic light. And it's going to open up a whole new world of possibilities in photography that just were impossible prior to Denoise AI.
Wow.
Well, yeah. So I don't have the before again. I wish I would have brought it. But this is a classic shot that you know. So this is a Milky Way shot that I did, right? So what's interesting about this is, so this is a single exposure. I tend not to do single exposures because how much noise would be in a shot if you just do a single exposure. This is at 6400 ISO. But if you come in, like I've already used denoise on this, but you can see like there's hardly any noise. It removed most of the noise in this photo. Like this whole area is just noise in that area, but it's not there anymore. You don't see any of the noise in the sky and stuff like that. I will have to actually have a before and after, because when you see the before and after, it's amazing how now I can actually take a single exposure Milky Way shot and just use Topaz denoise and not have to do stacking or tracking or all this. Now, not that there isn't a place to do that other stuff,
right?
But it is amazing sometimes how sometimes you just want to like get the photo done and get the photo, like I'm done with the photo, and it's just like boom, it's done.
Wow. Hey, we're going to take a short break. If you have any questions for Greg while Greg's still here, pop them to us in the comments. I have a question, if you don't mind, Greg. We'll get it back after the break, but I have an interesting question about using multiple passes of stuff. So we'll check that out. We're going to come back after the break. Don't go away. We're more with Greg when we come back.
Hey photographers, it's Black Friday time again, and Platypod has all kinds of crazy popular gear with shooters at every level. So whether you want a Platypod Ultra or a Platypod Max, we've got you covered. Just wait till you hear about the 4 deals they have this year. If you want a Platypod Max, go right ahead and get one. And you'll get the super popular multi-accessory kit for free. That's $29 worth of accessories free. So many people want 2 platypods, there's even a brand new Ultra commercial twin pack. And sure, the $89 price is a fantastic deal for 2 Ultras. But while Black Friday supplies last, you buy a twin pack and you get a pair of these awesome versatile goosenecks free. The third Black Friday special is all about the gear-packed Ultra Essentials Kit. Now, the Ultra Essentials Kit comes with the Platypod Ultra and all the normal Ultra gear like spiked and rubber feet, the 20-inch cinch strap, and the carabiner. Plus, you also get the spigot adapter, the 1/4-20 riser, the 36-inch cinch strap, the grippy rubber pad, the drawstring pouch, the square jellyfish phone holder, and the ARCA-compatible Benro IN00 ball head. All that makes up the Ultra Essentials Kit, and the $130 price tag means you save $30. How could you even top that for Black Friday? Well, how about $30 worth of free goosenecks? And the 4th doorbuster deal. Now, macro shooters love all the amazing gear that's part of the Max Macro Bundle. 2 super bright Lytra lights and diffusers, 2 pairs of awesome goosenecks, and the full-size Platypod Max. And they love it because of the $60 bundle savings. But now, we're going to give you not only a free multi-accessory kit, but also a Platypod Ultra. That's crazy! You're saving $148. These Black Friday deals are already going on right now, and they're going on only as long as supplies last. They sold out again last year, so don't wait. Follow the link below and get your Platypod Black Friday deals today.
Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. My name is Sir Germany. I'm a French photographer living in Los Angeles, California, and I'm a fine art artist. I love SlickPic because you can host all your photos online. You can share the best one through albums with incredible privacy settings. For example, you can just share an album to like 3 people or for just a number of hours. They have amazing watermarking on the fly where you can just change your mind and watermark and redo the watermark or take it out, and it's instant on all your photos. Having an official portfolio is so vital today. Now they have an amazing launching deal where for just taking the basic subscription we're offering now, which is roughly $15 a month, you're gonna get a professional designer to do your website for you. All you have to do is fill in a form with a few data and you're good to go. A designer will design your website for you. So if you don't like web design, this is a great opportunity. I think we're better off taking photos and learning how to do HTML and CSS and getting the most perfect website ever. I mean, even if you were to go the route of WordPress, which I did for many years, having a WordPress is free, but you need to host the WordPress. And a good hosting service is between $10 to $20 a month. So all you have to do is click the link below and get the offer. You will get the special price, which is 50% off for the first year, but you're gonna get it for life. So get it now. I love my SlickPic website. I love the business that it drives me, and I want the same success for you. Get it now.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
We're back. All right. Hey, everybody. We're here with Greg. We've got a little bit of an audio issue that just cropped up, so we're kind of working on that. And I have a question for Greg, and we've got some questions coming in here.
Yes.
So Greg, how do we feel about, like, if you were to run Denoise first and then run the Sharpen AI afterwards? Is it okay to stack them like that?
Yes, by all means.
I've always done that because I've thought Denoise first, Sharpen at the end. That's just
Well, I didn't know if there was some crazy stuff going on.
I will say that from my experience with it, that works very well because it's almost like Denoise handles the noise, and then what you're doing is you're removing the noise, and then on the other side, Sharpen like finishes up and really sharpens it up. And it doesn't seem like stacking them together causes any problems at all.
Right. There is a lot of stacking even that I do in my workflow. I stack, for example, Sharpen along with Gigapixel, mainly because I'll take a really, really blurry photo and I'll downscale it a little bit, because that oftentimes helps Sharpen AI. Because if you have a really high-res photo that's really severely blurry, believe it or not, cool trick for all of our users out there is downscale your photo, let's say to 50% of its original size. And then when you use Sharpen AI, suddenly you'll see the AI will just wake up to the severe amount of blur that's there, and it will miraculously fix even really badly blurry photos. And then after you're done with that, then you can use Gigapixel to upscale that back to the original resolution you started from.
That's an interesting workaround.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I have noticed that, running the Denoise first, it addresses the noise issues, gets that all shored up. Then you do a lot. Then I'll do a lot of the editing, post-processing stuff, and then the sharpen at the end to kind of finish it up. And you can adjust it and kind of if you want to not sharpen it as much, there's just little sliders in there where you can adjust it, and it shows you the preview, and boom, you're done.
All right. Hey, Brigitte has a question, Greg.
Yes.
The question is there a right moment or a right part in the workflow of post-processing to use the Topaz app? So is it better to start with it like at the beginning of your working on an image, or is it better to color correct it and do white balance and all, and then finish with the Topaz AI stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question that we get all the time. The correct workflow that we recommend is always start with denoise first. So without doing anything else on your photograph, denoise it. As a matter of fact, when you bring in photos using Photoshop's camera raw loader, or even Lightroom's, it does a little bit of denoising on its own. We recommend that you actually turn that off. So just bring it in as raw can get, mainly because the AI has been trained on just the raw photographs that have not been altered. Now, with that said, if you even do have photographs that have been manipulated in some way, it's still going to work great, but it's just not going to be as great as if you had started with Topaz first.
Secondly, so Greg, we have a lot of questions just about hardware in general, like how much RAM do you need, what kind of computer do you need, that kind of stuff to run it efficiently. So what are you working on there in your, because yours seems to be pretty zippy, what are you working on there in your studio? 2019
Mac, 32 gigs of memory. I've been running it off of 16 gigs of memory, so not anything, a little less than that.
All right.
And
it's not an iMac Pro, it's just a regular iMac.
Yeah,
it's just an iMac, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So just an iMac, Retina, 5K.
All right, so pretty standard, like off the rack thing. And so you've been running it in 16. Is it how much RAM does it need, or what's ideal for the RAM situation?
Yes, 16 gigabytes is fine. I've ran it on machines that have less. It's going to be slower on it. But once again, because it has both CPU and GPU optimization, you can choose which one you want to use.
Well,
the other thing that I think is really nice about it is it'll show you in the interface, like you can actually work on little parts of the image to kind of like get your settings right before you commit to it. And then once you commit to whatever kind of noise or upscale or sharpening you're doing, that's the point at which it starts doing the work. Before then, it's actually really quick because you're only working on a small part of the image. So you might be zoomed in to like 200% at a certain point, trying to see like how much noise do I need to remove. So that part's quick. Once you start, actually applying it, it might take a little time, because like recently it's been taking me longer because I've been throwing at it R5 files, which are like the 45 megapixels. So it takes a little longer with those, but not astronomically long. It's just, it takes a little long once I hit the commit,
All right, well, I hate to break in here, but we got to take our last break. And when we come back next, we're going to go through our prize winners. We got some great prizes. So stick around. We've got Greg here. If you got questions for Greg, let's get him in real quick because we're going to wrap up the show here in just a few minutes. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Grego.
Would you believe us if we told you that you could fit studio lighting in your pocket? Well, Lytra has made it possible. Lytra is a global award-winning brand that designs and manufactures professional-grade camera lights that are compact, rugged, and waterproof. Whether you're using Lytra gear in a photo studio or underwater, Lytra's mission is to provide content creators with flexible and unlimited lighting tools that can mount on any camera, anywhere. Their lights come with a high CRI or color rendering index, making them some of the most color accurate lights in the industry. Due to the light's compact and rugged design, photographers are able to use the lights in ways that their studio lighting never could. Lytra has also made multiple lighting accessories available to fit your every need as a creator. Whether you're shooting portraits, nailing a product shot, or even flying your drone, they have got you covered. Lytra enables photographers and filmmakers to focus on their craft and create something beautiful. What will you create?
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Make sure you don't miss any episodes of The Grid by subscribing to Apple's podcast app or iTunes. It's free, and we even have a special audio-only version too. So sign up today.
Alrighty, we are back. Scott here and Erik, and we've got Greg from Topaz on with us this afternoon. He's showing us some mind-blowing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Mind-blowing stuff. And we happen to, just by luck, to have his #1 fan, Erik Kuna, the Rocket Man, the official aerospace photographer for the Republic of Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah.
Erik's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so here's our deal.
There you get a discount.
All right, here's our deal. So we did ask Greg when we asked him to be on the show. I said, "Hey, can you give us a deal for our viewers? This is a pretty incredible deal." So go to topazlabs.com and use the coupon code Topaz Plus, and you can go for a while with that deal. So it looks like if you were to buy these individually, they're a Sharpen Ai is $79, Denoise is $79. Jpeg to raw AI, which I have no idea what that is $99, and Gigapixel is so it would be a lot.
Yeah, well, and I know that I haven't played around with that. Jpeg to raw is just basically like, hey, you have a Jpeg file, or you shot in Jpeg, and you're wanting to get that file to be like a raw file. But that is a great deal, even if you're like looking at a single one of those, just to purchase, getting that 30% off, because I was just doing it for like that Gigapixel one, because I'm interested in that now. It's $55. I mean, that's a really good deal.
And what was there's a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you, Greg, for putting that up. We only have 2 minutes left, so we're gonna do our giveaways and stuff. Can we at least see Greg's face again? Can we see?
Yes.
Oh, there we are. Okay, just we didn't know if we could hear you anymore, but want to thank you for taking the time to come and hang out with us again. It's always great to have you on the show, and you always have mind-blowing stuff, dude. Mind-blowing stuff.
Thank you so much.
And also thank you for the special deal for our viewers. We appreciate it very much. That's an awfully generous deal, so thank you, and thanks to the folks at Topaz. And keep up the good work. You guys are doing some amazing, amazing things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we appreciate it. Thank you for your support, Scott.
Oh, you bet. All right, you take care of yourself, stay well, and we'll talk again. Look forward to having you on the show again in the future.
Absolutely. I would love to be back.
All right, thanks, Greg. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, we got some winners for stuff, and we asked just people to drop in the comments and tell us what they want to win. And so, Erik, who's winning today?
So we have Melissa Edie Biota? Yeah. So that is getting the slick pick. So she says, slick pick picks, please. And then Kendra Perry Koski is getting the goosenecks. And then Anna Amrilla is getting the Lytra. And then Nancy Noon's getting your book.
All right.
Oh, and then Warren is getting the Boris.
We're giving Boris effects.
Yeah, we forgot Boris.
Boris effects. So they're a new sponsor of the show.
Optics.
But yeah, and that I just downloaded that. Mm-hmm. That thing is crazy. That is amazing. I tell you what a great time what plugins are doing and expanding.
I mean, it's
Photoshop and Lightroom in crazy ways.
It's crazy. Even like what Greg was just talking about. It really is. It saves you so much time, I think, on that side, like I was talking about. And the thing with Boris effects and like the things like that is the amount of time it took to make some of these effects or some of these color grades, it's like giving you your time back. I just feel like it's doing that. Yeah. Yeah,
and to those of you who watch The Grid, we talk quite a bit about AI, and there are people that are scared of it. There are people that are like, and I always tell people, I think the reason why is the words artificial intelligence sound like robots taking over your job.
That's what it is.
Right? Because when you think of AI, there is a whole section of, people are worried about are robots going to take my job? Am I going to be out of a gig? But for us, I think in creative arts where we are, in photography, and I got to move over, I'm not in the center of the screen. There we go. Hi. In the creative arts and photography and things like that, what AI is doing for us is making our jobs easier.
Absolutely.
It's taking away boring, tedious production stuff. Because like Erik was talking about with stacking and all these things that he has to do to get rid of noise, that's not being creative. That's not coming up with cool ideas. That's a production job. That is a job that is just a series of steps that you do, and it's not creative, and it's not fun, and it's not. I think AI is giving us time back to be creative and do things that
100%.
I'd rather shoot than stack images and try to remove noise. I would rather open a plugin and go, oh, that looks great.
Boom.
Done. And then I can get back to doing the things that I love. I did not learn Photoshop because I wanted to be a production artist. I wanted to learn Photoshop to be creative and to expand my creativity and do fun things. Don't get me wrong, I love working in Photoshop. But what I love about it is the fun stuff. I do not like the boring stuff. I don't like the tedious stuff. I don't like the production work. And so a lot of my career has been trying to show people faster and better ways to work. So that's why I'm a big proponent of these plugins that use AI. What Photoshop, what Adobe's doing with Adobe Sensei, which is their brand of AI.
Neural filters.
Neural filters,
that's what Neural Filters' whole thing is.
All, and it's cool stuff. Yeah. So I just wish they would not use the word AI.
Yeah.
I think the word AI freaks people out.
Or we could just accept that that's what it's doing, is it's just giving us a little bit of time back.
Yeah.
We can just accept it.
Why don't we just call it Topaz Time Saver?
Yeah, Topaz Time Saver. There we go.
Anyway, it's great having Greg on. Greg is awesome, and he's just a really nice guy. If you ever get to see Greg, like at Photoshop World or out with my seminars, Greg is with me out there on the road sometimes, and he's just a really cool, interesting guy. After the seminars, I like to go to dinner with Greg, and because, dude, he's such an interesting guy. He does so many things. Yeah. So he develops, products for magicians, like big-time positions, like the biggest names in Vegas, and all buy his illusions. And then he's got like the #1 best-selling magic app on the App Store. And he's such a smart guy. And he's into so many different things, really talented, really fun guy. It's cool to have him on the show. All right, don't forget, the Flash Conference is next week. We would love to have you join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'd love to see you there. I'll be answering questions and interacting and stuff, and we're doing the whole thing live, so it's going to be really interesting. We've got a great setup and some new studios here at our offices that we'll be using, so I'm excited about that. And we're going to be doing live shoots. I'm going to be talking a lot about gear. I mean, there is a lot of gear stuff, but Erik really said it at the beginning. The bar to entry to getting professional quality Flash stuff is so inexpensive.
So low compared to what it used to be.
I mean, go back 5 years. We're talking, 5 years, and everything has changed. And so, and it's neat. Now,
10 years it used to cost more than the camera.
Yep. Now it's like unbelievably affordable. And the way I'm going to teach you to use it, you're going to be stunned at the results. Now, here's why I know. Because when I've taught some of these things, I get emails and letters from people that are like, my mind is blown, and they're like, it worked just like you said it would. I used your figures, I used your recipe, I set it up, and bang, first time I was just absolutely stunned and amazed and all. That's what we're going to accomplish.
Well, and another thing, like you're talking on, is, when you get to, and I say that, like, when you get to actually control or manipulate light, like if you want a differentiating factor to your photography, because there's so many things where we could just take snapshots, we could take photojournalism, we could just take shots, but if you want to go up that notch, I'm telling you, you master light and the manipulation of light and how to sculpt light and how to use artificial light, and that separates you from a lot of people, because that really is like, people don't, it's a mystery to people, but that's where you guys really demystify it.
Right. Yeah. And of course, remember, I'm in the beginner's track. I'll be working with you if you're kind of new to this, and the whole conference is archived. So if you missed a class, or let's say 2 or 3 months from now, you're really rocking your Flash, I'm gonna go watch those classes with Joe.
Yeah, because even what Joe's doing, like Joe just unveils the curtain and goes, here's what I do.
Oh yeah, like, you're gonna see it all.
This is it. This is, and when you start getting it, you start going, wow, I never thought to do that. But then it's not as complex as what you would have thought. It's just, you got to be exposed to it. You got to know it.
Yep, so. And Joe is just so amazing to watch. I mean, if he didn't teach and you just watched him, you'd learn.
Yeah.
But he does. He's a great teacher, and Joe is funny as hell. He's just so
I'm looking forward
funny.
to that inspirational talk because that's that'll be really cool.
And he's gonna kick it off with that inspirational talk. So we're looking forward to that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you can join us. Go to kelby1live.com. Go sign up right now. And we're also do we show a video on it? Yeah. Okay, all right. So you guys kind of know what it's about. And it's if you sign up right now, it's what, $149?
$149.
For 2 days or 2 days and a half if you want to come the day before, and I hope you will. But my gosh, that's an unbelievable bargain. It's all online, so wherever you are, you can come and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope to see you there. All right, everybody in Florida, stay dry and try to stay out of this mess. We're going to get out of here because it's getting worse and worse and worse. So we're out of here, but thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to all of our sponsors. I want to thank my crew here. Thanks to Juan and Mike and Christina and Jason and Ron and all the crew here that helped to bring us the show every week. We couldn't do it without them, and we are honored.
And our entire team. I mean, our web team.
That's right.
Everybody.
Everybody has a hand in this show that we do every week. It takes a lot of people, and not just in this building, because our buildings, these two buildings that we're in, are for video. But down that way where the other people are. The other people are awesome, and we love them. And that's where my office is, down there, because I'm one of the other people. And Erik's office is 2 doors down from mine. So now what it is we come down and we visit the cool kids, and we hang out here, and then we go back and we're putting our business hats and we're boring again. All right. Well, anyway, thank you guys. We'll catch you next week right here on the grid. Stay safe, stay dry.
Bye.
See you then.
Light is photography. That's why, besides the camera itself, perhaps the most powerful tool a photographer has is a flash. When you hold it in your hand, you're holding the ability to create light on demand. When you understand light, you can create drama, mood, and emotion. For many photographers, learning flash has been an uphill battle, and some have simply given up. But that's all about to change. What if you could spend 2 full days with 2 of our industry's most passionate, gifted teachers who would finally demystify flash for the beginner and push and challenge more experienced flash users? Can you imagine just how far you would go in those 2 days? This fall, you'll have that opportunity as 2 of the top flash authors and educators come together to create a truly unique learning experience. Joe McNally, the man who opened the photographic world to the real power of flash and inspired an entire generation of flash users through his books, The Moment It Clicks and The Hot Shoe Diaries, along with Scott Kelby, author of The Flash Book, the #1 best-selling book on flash for the past 3 years, have come together to coach you, to mentor you, to teach, inform, and illuminate by sharing their latest flash techniques, their hard-earned secrets, and even the post-processing and retouching work that goes into making stunning, remarkable images as you uncover a whole new world of light powered by just a simple flash. It's 2 full days, all presented live, all online. This is the Flash Photography Conference. The power of light is in your hands.